This is happening today, at this very moment. This is happening in London. 500,000 to 1 million protesters predicted for Tommy Robinson March. I think it's called Unite the Kingdom. Look at that. Insane amount of people. What political party can gather this amount of people in England? UK. That is a sea of people. Crazy.
So I know I'm a little late to this story, but don't worry, we have not forgotten, because we have recently been covering this international trend, mostly in Western nations, but even reaching as far as places like South Korea, where patriots of those countries have been gathering outside of U.S. embassies, mostly in the capital cities, to hold massive vigils and prayer and legacy events to honor the life and impact of Charlie Kirk. And I think that is truly perhaps one of the most powerful testaments to his life and legacy that you could possibly see. Because it goes without saying, we all feel it, that America has been shaken to the bone by his horrific assassination, and it will not be forgotten or undone anytime soon. But here you have people who are not American, who have no moral obligation to care about our country or its politics, much less even know who Charlie Kirk is. And yet in this moment, in what some have called the shot heard round the world, he has become a global martyr for freedom, even in those places as many of these people confront similar issues to those we face right here in America. And that's truly inspiring. That really tells you, hey, you may have been a figure almost exclusively focused on American politics, and yet look how many people around the world stood with you and stand with you here today. And we've seen these events in countries like Spain, Germany, Italy, but ladies and gentlemen, in the past 2 days, none have been so impressive and so massive in scale, not even here in America, as the ones we have seen this weekend in the United Kingdom, where quite literally tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands, depending on how you count the crowd, I don't know, have been gathering in places like London to do these very events. And this is significant, frankly, for two reasons. It does not only highlight the special relationship that not just America, but specifically Charlie Kirk had with the UK, because he was very passionate about what was going on there, but secondly, further shows how it would appear to me that the Brits are finally getting really fed up and pissed off. You know, you see these increasing signs of not really having patience anymore for the crime crisis, for the migration crisis, for the free speech issues. People are getting pissed. And I think this event right here, the fact that it's as big as it is, really is reflecting that, right? So I know that very often American conservatives have a tendency to mock the Brits for being like, oh, you're insane woke. You guys just let anything happen to you. This is why we fought the revolution. But at the end of the day, I think America and the UK are going to have very similar destinies. And Charlie was rooting for these people to finally wake up, right? And I think American conservatives ought to do the same. And we'll talk about that. And I want to give some commentary on this in today's video. So that said, guys, before we get into it, do us a favor. We recently just hit 500K subscribers. Let's begin our push to 600K. I appreciate the support. Hit that red button down below. And with that said, when I say tens of thousands, I literally mean tens of thousands. I'm not an expert in counting crowd size, but I mean, just look at this for yourself. So you already see, right? The initial shot is like, hey, this, by the way, was the Tommy Robinson rally held to honor Charlie Kirk yesterday in, I believe, London, yes. So it's already like, wow, that's a big crowd. They're filling up the whole street. Ladies and gentlemen, look how long it goes on for miles and miles, or kilometers and kilometers, as they would say. This, yes, is how big the Charlie Kirk vigil and honoring event was, not in the United States, in the United Kingdom. And here are some more of those sights and sounds. Take a listen from different events that we've seen, because this is not even the only one seen in the UK.
in the legacy of Charlie Kirk. He stood on a platform of civil discourse, and we cannot stop to continue that civil discourse when our opposition will not meet us on the tent, but rather shoot at us. I have done stands at Camden Town, and whenever you do a stand, you potentially consent to your political opposition being the thing by which you die by. And I guarantee you, I have seen the United Kingdom, the radical left have been persecuting the Conservatives, who have one clear message: we want to conserve our culture and our heritage. We will not endorse a culture that killed Charlie Kirk. We will continue in civil discourse. We will continue his work. We will pick up the megaphones, the microphones, the stands. They won't be able to move our minds by an inch, because I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, I will continue to speak up at university campuses. I will continue to speak up
Yeah, so certainly we thank these people, and they have our most sincere gratitude. But that in mind, I want everyone to understand why this is really happening and what this truly represents. Because this is not just about the fact that, although I'm sure they did, a lot of people really liked Charlie Kirk's podcast, or they enjoyed watching his videos on Facebook or Instagram. No, this is deeper than that. This is a political uprising you're watching right here, where Charlie Kirk has become the symbol and the martyr for that cause, even outside of America. And I don't think it's lost on anyone, especially these British patriots, that Charlie didn't just die. He wasn't just killed by a radical leftist. He died specifically for the cause of free speech. The very free speech which has come violently and aggressively and very extremely under attack in the United Kingdom. Don't get me wrong, it's also under attack in the US and many other Western countries. But the UK, of course, specifically, is a nation where you have seen recent laws enabling the mass arrest of anyone who says something on Facebook deemed hateful by the government, whether that's a comment against feminism or abortion or the immigration policy coming out of Downing Street. Oh, go to jail, right? Recently on my own social media feed, I've seen some crazy videos of 80-year-old grandmothers, moms with their babies, RAF veterans for World War II who Churchill told them they're going to fight for freedom, and their freedom and the sovereignty, by the way, of their own country and what it stands for, being arrested for saying things that were deemed offensive to a group of left-wing protesters.
Shame on you. You're arresting a hero. What are you doing? You're a hero.
Are you going to arrest me?
Yes, you're under arrest.
If you were out there,
No, you can't arrest her.
Give my details. I've got my
You can't arrest her for what?
Yeah.
She hasn't done anything. I've got it all on camera. I've got it all on camera. Jokers.
You've got a baby with her as well.
You've got a baby with her as well. Wow.
Give a detail.
Wow.
Absolute joke.
Wow. Look at this, guys. Two-tier police in court again. Court again.
Can you put it in my bra? Don't worry if you touch me up, just put it in.
What is going on in this
And
country?
they didn't even check on the baby.
Right.
They left the pram there. Fortunately, there was someone there to help. I found that out.
And what was the charge supposed to be?
Well, apparently she was actually, there's two things. She was actually more than a breach of the peace. Bear in mind, the others were actually on the other side were the breach of the peace. But basically, it's the freedom of speech. She was attacking the Palestinian argument.
Right. So who knows what maybe they eventually just let her go. I mean, I don't think we know the answer.
No, we don't know yet. I'm looking into it.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous.
This is Morocco, an Islamic country, and it's here where I can buy pork bacon in supermarkets, served to me by Moroccans. I love bacon. I can say that in this Muslim country without fear of being arrested. However, in the UK,
We want bacon! To be honest, we're talking to all your
How can you arrest him for saying he likes bacon?
You're not allowed to say you like bacon, but he's around here, lad.
Can you explain that to me, please?
Yeah, so it's anything that might be perceived to be racially abusive.
Mate, listen, a full English breakfast, yeah, what does that consist of?
so if you live in the UK and you want to be able to say nice things about pork, then maybe you should consider moving to an Islamic country.
Why have we got flags up?
I'm proud of my country.
This is very offensive, I find. People next door, they've come from other lands.
If they find it offensive, they can go back to their own country. Like.
Really? Is that the attitude you're taking?
Yeah.
I find that very racist, and I think I'll pull these down.
Won't let you in because you've got England flags on?
Yes.
Not letting people in because of England flags? Why?
Because it's a simple rule by management.
Simple rule by management.
I request that you don't video our staff, please. It's a kind request.
Nah, I'm asking you why you're not letting people in with England flags in England.
I'm happy to serve everyone as long as they're in normal clothes.
No, I just want to put it online to show that this pub, what is this pub?
The Manor.
The Manor
I'm happy to
and their management are refusing people with England
We are
flags.
not involving ourselves in any of these process.
It's not a protest wearing an England flag.
You're like the one from, Trump. You know, his bird.
I'm happy to let you
quite
in,
pretty as well.
take it off.
So I have to take my England flag off to come into an establishment in England. Madness, innit?
Jen's happy to serve you again, but if
Do you not think there's an issue with that? Like, can you not understand why people might be upset by that? What if I had an England flag shirt on? Would that be alright?
Gents, again, I'm happy to serve you.
If I had an English flag, would that be alright? If I had a Palestinian flag on, would that be alright to come in?
you'd be straight in it.
Oh, you wouldn't stop that, would you?
Yeah, like people need to understand the situation really is that bad. And I believe on one of Charlie Kirk's final shows, just a couple months before he passed, he talked about this very issue. He said, I just came back from the UK and it is a cesspool. It is dangerous. Most importantly, it is lacking in free speech. And what the heck is going on over there? But you know what else I've been seeing? I randomly on my Instagram, I just got recommended a video one day, and now, I kid you not, half of my algorithm is videos out of the UK like this. Is that finally, many of the English people and the British people, who thus far you've had the perception that they've just basically sat by and allowed the total destruction of their nation to happen, are now just finally getting out there and saying, we're done with this. Like, you have poked the bear for too long. You've stepped on the snake. We are fed up. And, well, here's a couple of examples of that I really like.
No, use your ticket, thank you.
Sorry?
This is my ticket. I'm not paying for you as well.
Don't do it like, yeah?
No, don't walk in after me. Don't try and jump a ride off me. I pay my ticket, you pay yours, thank you.
Yeah,
You're trying to jump through.
Like
no,
that.
Don't push past then. Don't push past then.
Don't do it like that.
Why? Why should I not? I was simply standing in my space because I've paid for a ticket and you haven't.
Brother,
so off. Good. Then you put your ticket in and you go through properly.
Yeah, but don't do it like
Don't push behind people then. Don't come so close to me. You don't know who you're with. Next time it's going to be somebody that's really nasty. Don't push through the barriers. Fees.
Do you know what this is, buddy? You know what this is? Yeah. A war memorial. Not for you not to sit on, so get out. Yeah? It's for soldiers that died. We are the migrant hunters. As it said in the paper. I'm a soldier. Oh, move. You're a soldier? Out. Move. What? Don't laugh, mate. Move. Yeah, seriously, out. Move. Move now. Move now. Oh, look, tell me he's come down in my own push and move now. Out. Go on then. Move. Tell your friend now. Use the arse to move. Tell your friend now. Use the arse to move. He's on a war memorial. This is for our British soldiers. Is that a split? Move wearing the flag. Yeah, you say it. Record all you like, bro. Record all you like. You're on a fucking memorial smoking. Like you're clever. Move. What is your problem? Move, bro. You just sat there smoking drugs at a war memorial.
And I have to say, there's something about watching videos like this that is just so satisfying, you know? Because you're talking about a lot of people, not all of them, but a lot, were kind of docile on this for a long time, who maybe had disagreements but weren't fed up to the point of really saying anything, who are now fed up and angry, and publicly so, right? And I think the greatest single example of that is obviously the rally you've seen on your screen just today in this video. And by the way, Charlie Kirk spent years trying to warn the people of the UK about this. He always held that country outside of America with a special place in his heart, because the thing that, you know, the warning was, what was it? It was that you have massive problems that you're facing right now on really free speech, crime, and economic stagnation. And those three all tie back to one central cause, which is migration, right? The way that the migrant crisis and immigration policy overall has been handled by that government. You've had labor governments, conservative governments. It really, at the end of the day, is still a mess. It is still dysfunctional. It's still, frankly, the same. And I have to say, looking down on us right now, looking down on you guys, I should say right now, I think Charlie Kirk would be pretty proud.
In the last hour or so today, it's Tuesday today, she's had her appeal denied. So she's going to be carrying out her 2.5-year sentence for a solitary tweet. So outrageous. Which she deleted 4 hours later. What's your take on the whole situation?
Well, I'm going to try to get the U.S. State Department involved. I don't know if, you know, what their bandwidth is here, but I'm sorry. Like, again, I'm speaking as a citizen, not as a U.S. government. I just want to be very clear. Like, is this a way that a liberal democracy and an ally of the United States acts? Just to be clear, what she said would not be any prison time in America. I don't like what she said. You guys have the wrong incitement threshold. In America, you need to have specific time and specific place in order to reach the incitement threshold. Every day people say, you know, well, someone should go kill Charlie Kirk. I don't like it, but that's protected speech. In America, we care about what you do, not about what you say. And then she showed contrition and she apologized. And from my understanding, when the police force showed up to her door, they asked her questions being like, you know, do you hate immigrants? No, she gave like very satisfactory answers and they still arrested her. And I just find it so outrageous that she's going to now jail for 2.5 years for a deleted social media post that she apologized for. As you guys have birthed free speech to the world, you now guys are becoming a totalitarian country.
The truth is this: if you dislike the West, and if you hate the West's values, if you think the West is evil fundamentally and deserves to be destroyed, then anything Donald Trump does, basically short of surrender, will be too far for you. If I was visiting this school 100 years ago, speaking in support of an American president, I think we would at least have some broad agreement on what a country's leader should be trying to do. But we don't anymore. I don't think it's because America's changed. In fact, I think it's because Britain has changed. From my perspective, Britain is one of the greatest countries in the history of the world. You are the country of Shakespeare, the steam engine, and Adam Smith. You defeated Napoleon. You destroyed the slave trade. You stood up to Hitler. My country, America, became great as it is because of what we inherited from you, from Britain. When I hear the slogan, "Make America Great Again," I'm also hearing, quote, "Return America to its British roots." Great Britain has everything in the world to be proud of. But when I look at Britain today, I see a country where the ruling elites are in a race to abandon the very values, the values that made them so great in the first place.
So look, here's something I believe, as you can see from those clips, that Charlie saw, and I hope the lesson people take from the videos we've done on this, whether that's EU countries honoring Charlie, or in this case, the UK doing it. And it's that the Western nations that often, you know, our people ridicule each other, make fun of each other, call the other one all these names, right? The Americans are like crazy and racist. The Europeans are crazy commie socialists. UK, what is wrong with you? Why do you drive on the other side of the road? 1776, all this like back and forth garbage, right? Is ultimately kind of a petty, almost comedic rivalry to the grand theme here, which is all these countries have big problems and they share the same big problems. And the people of, you know, the UK and America, for instance, who feel the same way, they can either resent one another or like view the other side as unserious, or recognize, hey, the time for all of those jokes and whatnot has passed. Like, we all have serious problems now. And if we don't share common cause and common brotherhood in that situation, we're both going to lose, right? Like ultimately, when you're facing the same problems, and obviously the UK and US have always had a very close relationship. We were born out of the UK, essentially. You're always going to have somewhat of a shared destiny. It's about time, perhaps, that the people, or the patriots at least, because there are obviously psychotic leftists in both countries, but the patriots of those countries find common cause, frankly, with one another. That is exactly something that Charlie tried to do. He actually had a UK version of Turning Point, right? Turning Point UK. He expressed this sentiment many times, right? The UK is the birthplace of many of the ideas, the founding ideals that the American system of government is based upon. It's not something that, you know, we should be gleeful or cheerful or in a ridiculing tone to just sit and watch and allow to happen, right? So there you have it, guys. That said, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and until next time, God bless and peace.